Hi, I'm Beverly Steele, and I teach in Florence, South Carolina, 4th grade in a public school. And I possess certain dispositions that make me successful. I can't talk about all of them, but the most important one that I think I possess is the ethical behavior and the sense of judgment in my classroom, because I do have a very high poverty group of children in my classroom, and there's always a situation where we can learn how to behave outside the classroom and inside the classroom, and how this will affect them later in life, because we can teach them about the curriculum, but I think we also need to teach them how to be good people and how to interact with others. So, for instance, I encourage the truth always. I honestly reward truth, even if it's bad, because I want them to learn not to be afraid to tell the truth, and that the truth in the end will always make them feel better, and they don't have to keep up with what they've said if they tell me the truth or tell someone else the truth. So they can take that outside the classroom and practice that and just be better people. I also think I model integrity and ethical behavior because I'm not judgmental. I make mistakes. I talk about it. I talk about my children, my personal children that I have, and what they've done, and how I've gotten emails, and my son is laughing in class and causing disturbances, and it's silly, and I need him to concentrate. So I'm never judgmental, but I also give my views on it, and I share my experiences, which helps them to relate. And if they can relate to me, I can teach them something. I always encourage them to ask questions. I ask the silliest questions off the wall, but it all comes back, and I never discourage a child from asking a question. I also need to work on being more involved in the community. I'm a part of the PTA, but there are more things that I could do to advocate for the welfare of others in the educational setting. I need to work on that. I think a professional educator is somebody who presents themselves professionally in dress and in their appearance. I think this is a person who is open and kind. Kindness is a very underrated word. I think that if you are kind to people, they can sense that, especially children. They know. And that will help you go so far with getting them to make a connection. If you have a connection, you can teach a child, or you can get them as far as they are willing to go. And then before they know it, they've gone further, because they're not scared. They don't fear the feedback that you give them. I think you should be ethical. You should have integrity, and you should always model it and not dictate it. You don't need to be on your phone. You don't need to be texting. You don't need to have a student overhear you say something negative that would lead them to believe that that's something that's appropriate. No one is perfect, but I kind of use my children as those examples, that I understand what it's like. When I was younger, I used to do this, and I learned this, and you will do the same things, and you are not bad, but you just need to concentrate, and there are others out there like you. I think my students, particularly with the population I work with, they just want someone that will pull them aside and say, what's wrong? What happened? How are you doing? Look, don't worry about it if you couldn't get your homework done because you left it at your grandmother's, and then your dad took your backpack to your aunt's or her boyfriend, his girlfriend's. I don't stress about that, and I act like that's a normal thing that happens, and if you just tell me the truth, we can work through this, and we'll make sure it's okay. So basically, an educator is put under the biggest amount of pressure. You have to be everything to everyone, but you have to want to do it. And if you don't, you shouldn't be in a classroom. So I think about these things every day I go into a room, and I think about them when I leave, whether I'm frustrated or whether I've had a successful day. My focus has always been on how did I present myself, and did I show them kindness, attention. Thank you. Bye.